You're listening to the Dibbly-Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page as well. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Dibbly-Dobbly Podcast. On today's episode of the podcast, we review the Test series between India and England. It's the Dibbly-Dobbly Podcast, and let's get started. Let's have a look at the results from the Test series between India and England. The first Test match in Chennai, England won by 227 runs. Man of the match was Joe Root. The second Test match in Chennai, India won by 317 runs. Man of the match was Ravi Ashwin. The third Test match in Ahmedabad, India won by 10 wickets. Man of the match was Axar Patel. The fourth Test match in Ahmedabad, India won by an innings and 25 runs. Man of the match was Rishabh Pant. India won the series 3-1 and Ravi Ashwin was named Man of the Series. Let's have a look at how India performed in this Test series with both bat and ball. Let's start with their batsmen. Rohit Sharma, 345 runs. Pant, 270. Ashwin, 189. Sundar, 181. Kohli, 172. Pujara, 133. Gill, 119. Rahane, 112. And Patel with 55. Let's have a look at their bowlers. Ashwin, 32 wickets. Patel, 27. Ishant Sharma, 6 wickets. Bumrah and Nadeem, 4 wickets. Siraj, 3. And Kuldeep Yadav and Sundar with 2 wickets each. That's how India performed as a team in this series. India just dominated this Test series from the second Test onwards. After losing the first Test match, they bounced back well to win this series 3-1. The batsmen and the bowlers did their jobs, and it showed throughout the series. India are just a well-balanced team and a well-drilled side. I think Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri have done well to get the best out of this Indian team. India were better in every department with bat, ball, and in the field. Their top-order batsmen struggled at times, but their middle to lower order always got them out of trouble. The bowlers, especially the spinners, just dominated the series. Ravi Ashwin showed his class, and Axar Patel, the newcomer to Test cricket, impressed. Between them, they took 59 wickets between them, compared to England's 58 for the series. India in these conditions are just too strong, and teams are always going to struggle in these foreign conditions. India's bench strength is scary, and we saw in this series, as we did in Australia, they can really perform when it really counts. Overall, India just pushed England around in this series, and India are really developing a strong Test team for the future and are a force to be reckoned with, and they are going to be very hard to beat. Let's have a look at how England performed in this Test series with both bat and ball. Let's start with their batsmen. Root, 368 runs. Stokes, 203. Pope, 153. Lawrence, 149. Sibley, 134. Folkes, 78. Crawley, 67. Burns, 58. Butler, 54. Ali, 49. Bairstow with 28. Let's have a look at their bowlers. Leach, 18 wickets. Anderson and Ali with 8 wickets. Root with 6. Stokes and Best with 5 wickets. Stone and Archer with 4 wickets. And no wickets to Lawrence and Broad. That's how England performed in this series. How can you describe this Test series for England? A complete disaster. And that's how the series turned out for England. After winning the first Test so convincingly, to then losing the next 3 Tests to lose the series 3-1. England couldn't match it with India. They struggled in these conditions with both bat and ball, but especially with the bat. They had no answers to India's spinners in Ashwin and Patel, who between them took 59 wickets compared to England, who took 58 wickets in total for this series. The bowlers struggled in this series, especially the spin bowlers. Jack Leach bowled okay in this series, but Dom Bess really struggled in this series, low on confidence and leaking runs. Also to me, it looked like Joe Root in England didn't have any confidence in Bess at all to get the job done. Also, England's spinners don't have the quality like India's spinners in Ashwin and Patel, especially in these conditions, and it showed during this series. There was a lot of criticism about England's rotation policy during this series. For me, the ECB are doing what they can to make sure the health and well-being of the players is being looked after. Because as we all know, mental health is a big concern, not only in cricket, but in our society. The players aren't robots, and they need to rest and recover. But where it went wrong for England was when they chose to rest their players during the series. If England had their best 11 in every test, I think the result will still be India winning this series. Also, it seems to me that England had put T20 cricket before Test cricket as we enter a T20 World Cup year. Joe Root didn't have his best 11 available to him, whereas Eoin Morgan has his best 11 available to him. England could have tried different players out for the T20 and ODI series against India and have those 3 format players to be available for the Test series. England will be doing a lot of reflecting and soul-searching after this series loss and look to learn and get better from this as an individual, but as a team. My thoughts on the series: it was a dominant performance from India during this series, by far the strongest side in these conditions, a dominant display with both bat and ball during this series, and bounced back well after losing the first test to win the series 3-1. England, it was a disappointing series, after winning the first test match in Chennai so convincingly, to then losing the next 3 test matches to lose the series 3-1. England really struggled in these conditions, and it showed in their performances with both bat and ball. There will be a lot of reflecting and soul-searching for England after this series defeat. Well, that's the end of the innings, the close of play for this episode of the podcast. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get the latest episodes of the podcast, and like and share our Facebook page. Until next time, keep safe and bye for now.